Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lade and today we're going to be cooking. Sorry I look like this, I just woke up. I'm going to be making a few things, and the first on the list is Ofe Nsala Soup. That's white soup, Ofe Nsala. And I'm going to make some onunu later on to go with it. I have a recipe video, an actual recipe video. It's not a cook with me, so you can check that on my channel. And when I made that video, I said I was going to remake it, but I'll try and do a better job. I'm sure I'm going to be doing a better job today. The soup was requested by my husband. In fact, he went to get the fish, so he's really serious about this. So join me, let's go. This is saint leaf. I'm going to be using this for the Ofe Nsala. So I'm just going to take the stem out and then cut it. So this is part of the prep that we're doing. Okay, we're gonna just take them out like that, and we're going to cut them nicely. I'm going to be doing more than this, but just let me just show you people with this one. Okay, so I want to prep the yam that I'm going to be using for this nsala, but I'm also going to be using yam for onunu, so I might as well just cut it now. Yeah. Okay, why is this yam hard like this? So this is how I want to cut the yam. Okay, so once I've cut it like this, I'm going to cut it into strips, like so. Then so guys, this is the quantity of yam that I have, because I'm not only using it to thicken the nsala, I'm also going to be using it to make onunu. So I'm also going to be using some stockfish in this dish, and this is the kind of the gills, or like the head area, but there's flesh on it. I'm going to be using 3 pieces of this in this recipe. Stockfish. But this stockfish is already cleaned in hot water. In fact, see, this is the bag where I put it in the freezer. I've cleaned it in boiling water. In fact, I just put it in a boiling pot. I added a cube of bouillon powder, bouillon cube, whatever. So this one is what's it called? Panla ejakika, and this is another fish that I'm going to be adding to it. My preference for smoked fish for this dish is the smoked catfish. That's my preference, but I'll just use what I have because this works too. This is how much of the smoked fish that I'll be using. Then I have some, also from my freezer, I have some pomo which has been cleaned and washed, and also when I boil it, after washing, I always boil pomo because I just feel like there's so much dirt in it, also depending on how it was processed. So here is the pomo, and it was it was cleaned and then boiled in boiling water with also seasoning powder. So I'm going to be adding just a few because I still have a lot of cooking to do today. Of course, this will not be enough. I have more that is unprocessed, but this time I like to store it in my freezer so that it's easy to cook. So now they're just going to go back to the freezer. Maybe this size will just be fine. It's light, it's NEPA. Well, NEPA took light, that's part of it. It's part of it. I don't think I'll be able to talk over it again because of the noise of the generator. And guess who comes to the kitchen when there's no lights? Hi Zoe.
Mommy.
Yes?
TV is off.
TV is off. I know. There's no lights. That's why. So this is the what's it called? This is the smoked fish.
Sorry guys, I had to do a voiceover because they turned on to Jen, and it was going to be too noisy for you to watch me talk through. So this is me just washing the fish that I cleaned earlier. I deboned it earlier, so I'm just washing now. And I'm also going to be cleaning out the pepper that I'm using, and this is Scotch bonnet atarudo. It's not as spicy as habanero, not at all. And I'm using 7. I was going to use 6, but I mean 7 is perfection, and I'm going to roughly chop it, not chop. There's one thing I use to grind it together. So now we're going to start making the soup. This is the main thing, so please pay attention. I want to build the stock, so I've added some water in a pot, and now I'm going to add some salt. We're building the stock, remember. Now I'm going to add some seasoning cubes, and this one is special crayfish seasoning cubes. I've cooked this soup before and it was a fail, but I still uploaded it on my channel. So this one is an improved version. What I'm adding now is pepper soup spice, and just be generous with that because that's the main thing in this, one of the main things in this soup. So this is the pomo that I did earlier, that I showed you earlier. This is the stockfish that I showed you earlier. I'm going to just put them in there. We're going to add all the obstructions, okay? Ofe Nsala, the richer the better. Then the next thing I'm adding is grounded pepper atagungu, and then I'm going to add some smoked fish, okay? That Scotch bonnet I showed you earlier it's not as spicy, so that's why I had to add the atagungu. See, we're building the stock. That's what we're doing. And now I'm going to be adding the yams that I showed you earlier that I cut into cubes, and I'm just going to cover it up until it boils. Now it's hot, it's not boiling, and I added a little bit more water. I don't know if you notice, because a lot of the water is going to evaporate when it starts to boil. So now I'm adding pepper and onions that has been nicely chopped. You can see the consistency. So if you have a food processor or a blender, just try and get it like that. You can even chop it up like with a knife, and just however you want it, pretty much, okay? But don't blend it up to be smooth, because it will not be white soup anymore, So now that it's boiling, I'm going to be adding fish, and I'm going to use 1 catfish. This one has been cleaned, properly cleaned. I didn't want to bother you to show you all of that. And so we're going to add the catfish now, and this is one of the tricks I'm going to tell you. See, the yams are still in there, all the obstructions are still in there. They're even there so that they can create a support for the catfish. So I'm going to add the catfish now and cover it. When it boils for 2 minutes, let it not be more than 2 minutes. So the catfish is not yet cooked, but it's solid, okay, and it has taken in some of the juice but not everything. So now you can take it out because it's not raw and it's not like finely cooked. It's just kind of solid, okay, and it's harder than to be when it's finally cooked. So the next thing I'll be, see, the yams are still in there but they're not cooked. The obstructions are there. I'll just cover it up. I've taken the fish out, no pressure, okay? So this is one thing I didn't get from the YouTube videos I watched. After the yams have cooked, leave it, let it boil, the water, let it boil everything. So we take out everything now, especially the yams. If there's still like fish left in there, especially the stockfish and the pomo, you can still leave it there. But see, there's no more yams in there. I've taken it all out, and now I'm going to be pounding the yams. You can also use a blender or a food processor. We want to get this yam to kind of be stretchy like pounded yam. So just pound away, and then you can add some of the liquid from the sauce that's boiling into that. And this yam is to thicken the soup, okay? Most of the YouTube videos I watched, you add the yams when the fish is in here, you take it out, the fish is still there, and then you pound, the fish is still there. It was a big fail for me. So this is how I find easier to make nsala, especially if it's your first time. So put the yam in there. It's going to dissolve completely. But while it's doing that, I just went to snack on some cucumbers and peanuts with my daughter. And since there was no light, we just wanted to chill. We want to snack on cucumbers. I'm waiting for the nsala the yam I put in it to dissolve. So, and they just turned up the generator. Say hi, guys. Say hi, guys. Anyway, we're snacking on cucumbers and granules. We've not tried it. Or if you have peanut butter, try it. Apples and peanut butter, cucumbers and peanut butter. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Okay, we're both wearing black, and coincidentally, our top has this thing. Go back down. It's so hot. They turned up the gen because they're fixing it. So hot. Yay! Yay! They just brought light. They just brought light. Oh, we're happy. Oh, you know, I was telling you what to do. TV just came on. So I'm excited. Bam, bam. You guys know Ima, oh my god. If you don't know him, check him out. I'm gonna add an iCard to this particular Jelenke phrase. Let's check on our food. I think everything is going well. Let's check on
So what I just added, and I'm still adding a little bit more of it, is scent leaf, efirin, and that's what I cut earlier in the video. I think that was like the second scene of this video. So that's what I put in there. See that it's thicker now because the yam has dissolved, and now I can now reintroduce the fish. Remember, the fish is already half cooked but not completely, so now it's solid. All the drama that wants to happen to the stock has happened. The stock is now the consistency that I want, and don't worry, this consistency will get thicker when it's not too hot. Okay, so this is just perfect for me. I don't like it too thick. The next thing I'm going to be adding is some crayfish, so I'm going to generously add crayfish, and I'm going to reintroduce my obstructions. Remember, we didn't take everything out of the stock. There's still some on the bottom, but this is the ones that came out with the yam. So some of the smoked fish, some of the stock fish, and some of the pomo. This is the way to go, and this soup is so healthy, guys. There's no oil involved at all, you know, and so this is it.
Okay guys, so I'm officially done with making the Nsala recipe. So this is going to be a separate cook with me Nsala video. So let's end this one and start another cook with me.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. This soup tasted amazing, and I really appreciate all of you for watching. How are you guys faring this lockdown period? Please stay home, okay, and stay safe. This is the Nsala white soup that I made. I served my husband with the head of fish as per head of the house, as per head of state, you know what I mean? And I served it along with some onuno. I'll be making that video next. Thank you guys. Bye.